everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and I'm gonna give you guys a garden tour today. So let's have a fun walk through my garden. So I first want to say a big welcome to all of our new subscribers. We got actually a ton of new subscribers over the past couple of weeks, and just for you guys that don't know, I'm Tiffany Benson. Me and my husband live in the middle of the city, as you'll hear the city noise, in the middle of the Arizona desert. So not only are we gardening in the urban city limits, but we're also gardening in the middle of the Arizona summer. So I want to take you guys through a walk today so you guys can kind of see what I've gotten going on. If you watched my video yesterday, you saw that I got a couple of brand new starts that I then put into my garden, and so I want to kind of show you guys all of what's going on in there. But first, I want to talk to you guys about not giving up on your garden. Now, I show you guys a lot of my failures in my garden because I feel like that's how people learn. When I first started gardening, I looked at a lot of channels and I compared myself to them, and a lot of people only show you what's going right, but they're not showing you what's going wrong. And you get this like unrealistic comparison to where you think that everything you're doing is wrong and that it's only you. And I wanted to let people know that no, it's not. There will be some things that go extremely well, and there'll be some things that go really, really wrong, but you're still gonna have an amazing garden, so don't give up. I've got a lot of people that tell me on Instagram or in the comments that, oh, well, this didn't happen, I'm gonna wait till the spring. And I'm like, no, we are desert gardeners. This is our time. Fall is our time. It may not seem like it because it's so hot and it's so miserable and you just don't feel like you have enough time, or you can't keep up with the bugs, or you can't keep up with the rodents or anything like that. But this is our time. We are going to be able to garden fall, winter, spring, and summer. And this is when it starts. So for all of you guys out there, don't give up on your gardens. This summer heat and this brutal heat is just a setback, but there are ways around it, and we're going to talk about some today. So if you guys watched my channel earlier, you saw how I typically save my peppers through the summer. So basically all I do is I trim the pepper all the way back, just prune it to where it's down to like nothing, and then it comes back in the fall. Well, I had 2 poblano peppers, 2 shishito peppers, and a jalapeno pepper. And all of them seem to just really give me just utter pain this summer. But I had one that I didn't give up on. I didn't give up on any of them, but this one grew back. And I think it's a very good way of just giving you guys an example that even though it might be a brutal summer, even though it might be bug damage, even though it might be rodent damage, even though sometimes you just want to throw a big giant rattlesnake in your garden to eat all the little desert rats, never give up. And this plant didn't give up, I didn't give up on it, and now look at it. This is my shishito. It has been through hell damage last year. It went through the world's most brutal Arizona summer, and then on top of that, it had bug damage and a rodent decide to eat half of it. But look guys, it's grown back and it's already starting to flower. How beautiful is that? Also, my eggplant is coming back too as well. So don't give up on your plants, guys, just keep on going. I think that's a big lesson that everybody should kind of have as a takeaway, because sometimes it's going to be like that. Sometimes you're going to be gardening and you're just going to feel like everything is going bad and the weather just hates you. And sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. So I got a bunch of starts to put into my garden because I felt like I was just not able to catch up on different things. Having a small space garden also means I have a small space in my house. My garden normally holds about 150 plants, and this year I added more space, so I'm predicting that it's going to hold close to about 175 plants. Well, I only have one shelf in my house to grow things, so when it's been such a brutal summer that I can't grow some things outside because of the way that the sun hits my garden. It blasts it pretty much all day long, and I didn't have enough space inside. So what I did is I bought starts. And when I first started on YouTube, I never wanted to buy starts because I felt like it made me less of a gardener. And I looked at everybody else and I was like, I can start things in my house, and I can. I have plenty of plants that are in my garden right now that I started, and I have ones in my house right now that are going, but I want to make sure that I'm succession planning and that I always have food in my garden. And to do that, I have to be able to depend on the weather, and when that doesn't happen, then here comes the nursery. So let me show you guys what I got. So my first bed I'm super excited about. This one is going to be nothing but kitchen herbs. And as you guys know, I cook fresh meals every day with kitchen herbs. And I have my parsley in the back, and then I have a purple sage, which is so beautiful, guys. I'll get close up on it. I have a variegated sage, and then I have my normal garden sage that I always have. I have rosemary, I have German thyme, I have lemon thyme, and then I have my chives that have been going wild. These I actually grew on the countertop, and they grew so wild, so now I finally have them outside. And then I have a sweet marjoram. I've never tried this herb before, so this is going to be a new one. And then I have my oregano too as well. Now, part of being able to have a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle is cooking with fresh herbs. Fresh herbs provide you so many benefits to your health, so it's something that I find really, really important. There are fresh herbs will be all over my garden because I cannot get enough of them. And those are something that I constantly keep going all year long and start all year long, because not only do they help with keeping down pest pressure, sometimes they'll drive different insects away, but like I said, they're also very great to cook with, and they provide a lot for your health throughout the year. Now, these are a lot of things that I just got. I have some early Jersey heirloom cabbages. Now, these ones, I started 2 of them, and then I got 4 of them from Home Depot. So these are the 4 that I got. The other 2 that I started are over there. So I have some curly kale. This is one of my favorite kales because I love to make kale chips. We have our tomatoes. I think this one is a black cherry tomato. And then we have some romaine lettuce that I really have been covering, guys, because I don't want it to bolt. And then also, as you can see, the little rodent got in there. So I am going to put up some chicken wire like I have in the other beds. And then I have the other Jersey cabbage. I have one little radish from my niece that went and planted. And then I have that artichoke that just kind of, I think it's coming back. I'm not sure what it's doing. I'm just going to let it do its thing. So if you guys notice, you'll see some marigolds around my garden. Now, marigolds are like nature's bug control. So I like to plant them and like cilantro throughout my garden everywhere. And it kind of keeps the bugs from kind of getting onto stuff. So if you guys are looking for a natural way to do some companion planting, that is one of the things that you can do. Over here I have my jalapenos, and these are recovering from the little rodent eating them. So now they're starting to grow back nicely. And then I have my super sweets that I got from the Arizona worm farm. And then I have a little marigold there. And then there is my shishito pepper, my eggplant, and then all these little radishes that my niece planted. So I was seriously worried about letting her just go willy-nilly with the radishes, but I think this is actually a great plan because now I don't know where they are, so it's like a surprise. They just kind of pop up, and I think I'm going to get just a ton of radishes if I just can let her do this about every week to 2 weeks, and then I'll have a complete succession of radishes. So that's going to be the game plan. Now this is where my beans got some spider mite damage, and as you can see, my long beans over there too as well. So I am going to be completely starting all of these inside. These ones I did spray and it seemed to work, so I'm going to let those ones stay. I have a bell pepper back there, and then I have some big beef tomatoes there. I have some okra that I had left over, and as you can see, my okra is making a pretty good comeback. These ones I held in as starts in the pot forever. I started these ones from seed and they seem to be stunted, but now they seem to be growing out. And then I have a squash that got a little bit of spider mite damage, so I just pruned back. And then I have another bale over there. Also my cucumbers, these are my tasty greens. They need some shade, so I'm gonna throw up a shade cloth once I get done filming this, but these ones are starting to climb. My beans over there, those are the Kentucky Wonders. They need some shade, and they also just got sprayed with the oil, peppermint, and rosemary and oil that I got from Dr. Earth. And then this one is another black cherry tomato. And then over here, my ever so beautiful and wonderful Malabar spinach. I absolutely adore and love this plant, guys, and I can't wait to make a recipe with them. Now, this summer I saw everybody's Malabar spinach plant and I was like, oh my god, I need to have that in my garden. It's so beautiful. I love anything red. If you guys go into our house is completely red, black, and silver. The whole thing. And so I have a giant red wall in my house. And I love having just red features in my garden. So that Malabar spinach plant, I was like, I have to have. I searched everywhere, went on every website, and I could not find it. I finally found it on Etsy, found some seeds, and I planted 2 seeds and they popped up. So now I have 2 Malabar spinach plants and I'm pretty excited about it. So this is another lemongrass that I have. Now I have the start that I found, and then I have the starts over here that I started. So I'm going to be filling them in with some more starts that I have going inside, so that hopefully this makes this whole pot full of lemongrass, because that would be amazing. And then all of this is still empty because all of my broccoli is going in here, and some beets and some sweet peas as soon as the weather cools down a lot. Now up here is a little project that I gave for homeschooling, and it is how things grow and what they need to grow. So I let my niece pick out some flowers that she liked, and then I let her plant them. I'm gonna go grab some more because this one is straight, but all of these are tilted at different angles. So she is working with different type of fertilizers to see what makes these plants grow, and this is just going to be her little pot. Now I do have a couple things going, well, just one thing going in my medicinal herb bed. I have some chamomile right over here that I just planted. A lot of these plants I'm going to have to restart or start, I'm just going to throw the seeds in the ground and let them go. I have one little marigold going right there because it got too hot for them and some of them died. Then I have my beta alpha green beans growing up here, and I have some bush beans growing down here. Sorry, those are cucumbers, guys. Beta alpha cucumbers. And then over here we have just a couple more dragon tongue bush beans. All of these got taken out by a storm, but we have these going, and they got a little infected, but I sprayed them, so now they're doing well. And then my pride and joy over here, guys, is my cantaloupe. This one is a Minnesota midget cantaloupe, and it is starting to flower, and then it has some beans below it, and it also has a marigold in there too as well. But I started one from seed, and it's growing really, really nicely. This one has been really doing well throughout the summer, and I just keep pushing it tight on here on my patio arch. There's a couple more down there that are starting just to kind of help fill it in, because I want this whole thing to be super, super green so you can't see it. Now, I really love my patio arch project because I really think that it shows that you don't need a big space in order to give yourself more growing space. When you're growing vertically helps you be able to grow a lot of things you wouldn't be able to grow. So don't forget, build yourself a little bitty patio arch. Let it grow. You can put it anywhere, on a balcony, anything like that, and grow yourself some nice vining vegetables, because you can do it. I'll link the video, if you guys haven't seen it, down below to me and how I built the patio arch. It's really simple, just some masonry ladders and some zip ties and some pots, and there you have it. Now over here I have my mint. So I filled it in with some starts that I got from Home Depot. I have mint over here, and then I have lemon balm over here, and then I also put in some seeds, and I have some more growing on the inside. So these ones were going back and forth with the sun being so hot over here in this area. So I have shade cloth for them, but I think I'm going to start putting them somewhere else just until it cools down a little bit. Last thing is my tree, guys, and look at this. My tree is starting to flower again, so it's getting more lemons, or limes is what these are, and they have little baby limes all over them. Like, they're really hard to see unless you know what you're looking for, but they're covered in just little bitty baby limes everywhere. So cool. So my hope is that if this video does nothing else, it inspires you to grow something and just start something and not give up, because you can do it. I think that is one thing that not enough people hear enough throughout the day. You can do it. It's just a matter of practice, and it's a matter of not giving up on yourself, guys. So don't forget, grow yourselves a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye, guys.